This work is funded in part by the Minnesota Humanities Center, with money from the Arts and Heritage Fund that was created with the vote of the people of Minnesota on November 4, 2008.
Hello, hi, hey, and welcome back to the SPNN Forum. I am your host, Jiccarra N. Hollman, and today I am speaking with St. Paul Art Collective, and here representing is Mariusz, the Executive Director.
Thanks for having me.
I feel like you're like a small person that's here representing a huge platform.
Yes.
St. Paul Art Collective.
That is right, yes. I'm here representing a lot of history of the St. Paul Art Collective, and we'll talk about the future of the collective as well.
Oh, the history, the today, and the future. So what I understand, because I did my research, the St. Paul Art Collective to be is like the connecting force of all things artsy, including events, including spaces, and including the support of artists themselves.
Yes, we're here for the artists, we're here for the community, we're here for the businesses, and we're here for the spectators.
Come on, and the spectators.
Yes, the spectators. Bring them in, and so they can come in and buy the arts from the artists that we help promote.
Yes, yes.
And then the spaces that we also help promote. We have a nonprofit membership that allows you to be in all 2 art crawls. We have a spring art crawl and a fall art crawl.
Okay.
Those are free memberships for nonprofits.
Oh.
I know SPNN is part of it. I'll be seeing you guys. We also this year started free artist memberships for artists, so they no longer need to put in hundreds of dollars to show with us. So we've been really excited about that change, and the membership has grown from. It has doubled in size.
I'm sure it is. You make it free, then that means it's accessible, because I only pay when it's free. So now I'm about to become a member.
I can't wait.
I've been waiting on that to become free, just like I'm waiting on my student loans to be forgiven.
And you know, I'm waiting for my student loans to be forgiven too. I just talked to my parents about that.
Yeah?
No, it's fine.
That's all right.
And, you know, it's for artists like painters, sculptors, writers, theater, comedy.
Theater? Nice.
Music.
Music. So
dance. I'm a dancer. I should start with the dance. There's dancers.
Oh.
There'll be dance classes. There'll be classes for youth, for kids, free classes for example, there's going to be a workshop for a lighting workshop.
Yeah.
With Yolanta, and teens will be learning about how to, set up these lights.
Really?
How to work on, working with a Canon or working with a Sony.
What? Is it just for kids? Can I be 12? Because I have like a 12-year-old boyish frame, so can I join that class?
You can come.
Sweet.
You can absolutely come.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So I'll become a member for free.
Become a member for free.
And then I will join the class.
And then you can come.
With the kids?
Yes.
Nice. I'm going to be the most immature kid in the class.
I'll be there, so don't worry about it.
Okay. So now tell me, what does my membership actually get me with the St. Paul Art Collective?
As an artist, I come up with a list of all the galleries that are showing and the nonprofits that are showing in the spring. So then you get to contact them. So there's the emails, phone numbers, addresses, everything is kind of one spot. So you don't spend time looking for where to show. You spend time sending emails about showing your work.
Nice, nice, nice.
And with that, the artists also get free membership, networking events where we go to our members, our gallery members, our group art space members, bring artists there, have a snack, chat.
What kind of snack?
Beer.
Okay.
I know I don't drink, but there is beer.
Can I have some chips and crackers?
Chips and crackers, yes.
And cheese?
Yes, and then talk to the artists about their process and
yes.
how do they pick the color, or why do they step on this beat, or when did this happen?
Oh, that's amazing.
Yes.
Speaking of processes, let's talk about the process, because you told me that you have 2 art crawls, the spring and the fall. The fall would be cold. And for these 2 art crawls, tell me about the process to like create them, to choosing what exhibits to show, what artists to showcase, and what classes or workshops to offer.
Yeah. So right now in April 2025, for this year we started in December.
Okay.
With our budget, and I'm always pushing to get a bigger budget for more promotions for the artists and for the spaces. And this year I got the budget I wanted, which is great. Yes. You're just gonna ask for it and
ask for what you want.
Things start happening.
Okay.
And so with that, I connect with all the galleries that are showing, and then once I have the list of the galleries and the art spaces, I send that to the artist members, and those guys apply for those spaces. So lots of galleries, they're not very picky. Art is art. If you paint, you paint. You're gonna show out the art crawl one way or the other. And those artists also start the work and the galleries in their own committees, in their own hubs in January. So, for example, folks would have started to prepare for the spring art crawl in January, starting from, who's going to open the door for the space, who's going to be at the desk, when are we going to get the artists to come and show and hang the art, when is the cleanup, what's the responsibility of the artist for the cleanup, what's the responsibility for the collective or for the spaces. There's a lot of moving parts.
Okay, nice. So now I have to ask you a series of very important questions. So I understand you mentioned that membership is free. So does that mean that as an artist, I can have this exhibit space for free?
So that means that every gallery has a different understanding with you. So for example, some galleries would say, I would like $30 for the weekend.
Okay.
Or some would say, hey, maybe give me 10% of what you sell.
Okay.
Or lots of places, especially the nonprofits or the libraries, they don't charge the artists. For example, we have Spring World for the Arts during this year. We have about 40 artists there. They're gonna bring 40 artists there, and they don't charge for spaces. There's libraries that doesn't charge for spaces. So if there's a way to just not be charged at all, it all just depends. If you want to show in a big museum, like for example, the M is part of it, or if you want to show it in a smaller space, like the Lower Town Lofts Artists Cooperative in Lower Town.
Okay. So for some, and maybe there's no one answer fits all for this, but for some of the free showing spaces, can you still charge for the art?
Oh yeah, you sell.
Okay.
You sell your art. You try to make what you went there for.
Yeah, that's what it's for, right?
Yeah.
So that we can be spectators and supporters of the artists by buying the art.
By buying, by showing, by bringing your family.
Yeah.
If you know you're not buying, but you have 7 people in your family that are coming, somebody's gonna buy something.
Because I only pay when it's free, so I'm gonna bring some other people that pay when it costs too.
Yes, bring them with you.
Okay, I got to bring some people with some money. Okay, what are some of the locations that we can expect to come across?
The crawl is starting in end of April, so the last weekend of April, April 25th through the 27th, the first weekend of May, 2nd through the 4th, and the second week of May.
Oh, okay, it goes on for some time.
9th through the 11th.
Okay.
And historically, it started in Lower Town in 1991. But in the past couple of years, we've been expanding because artists that used to live in Lower Town moved out.
Yeah.
So they would ask us, hey, I'm in Como, can I show in Como? And we didn't have that infrastructure a couple of years ago, but now we can support that. We can reach out to District 10 Community Council and say, would you like to have a market May 10th and bring 30 artists there? I'll help you bring a dance class. We'll make it an event.
Okay.
So that is happening on the 10th at Como Community Council.
So I wrote some things down. I want to make sure I got it correct. So the crawl itself goes from 25 April to 11 May?
Yes.
Okay, great. I was listening. I just want to make sure.
And the hours are usually up to the galleries, but on Fridays it's in the evening, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. They say Saturdays, I meant Fridays. Fridays it's 6 p.m. to 9, and Saturdays it's 12 to 8. Sunday it's 12 to 5. However, if a coffee shop opens at 6, they're going to be open at 6.
Yeah.
And there'll probably be art there already, waiting for you and drinking your coffee.
So I'm assuming that if I'm an artist, it might be a little too late to be a part of this upcoming exhibit.
It is a little late.
A little bit.
I do tend to get lots of emails, especially when we get to talk about advertising and when we start to advertising the crawl.
Yeah.
The artists or the galleries say, hey, I might be part of this. I need to be part of this. So I have had closed the artist registration. But if somebody emails me, says, hey, I really want to show, I'll point them the right way.
Oh, okay, very nice. When do you typically close the registration? Like how close to the event?
Probably about a month for the art spaces and 3 weeks for the artists. However, the art spaces register their artists as well. So if
Okay.
I don't have the capacity to do it, I send them to 8 to 5 Arts, for example, and say, do you still have a space for somebody to come in?
Very nice. Now I understand that the St. Paul Art Crawl is centralized to St. Paul. Do I have to be a St. Paul resident to showcase my art?
Well, that wouldn't work because I'm not from St. Paul.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So, well, are you from St. Paul?
I know. I live in Minneapolis.
So, no. You just have to show in St. Paul.
Okay. Okay.
So as
Very
long as
nice.
we're showing arts in St. Paul, then you can be part of the collective. You can be from Minneapolis. You can be from. We have artists from outside of the state. We have artists from Wisconsin, from Hudson, and artists, from other states that say that Minnesota is a really great hub for artists, and they like the resources that we provide. With the networking, with the free membership, and they keep coming back for every season, every 2 seasons.
Nice, very nice. Now, if this is my first time partaking in the art crawl, where can I get the information, like the maps for what's happening?
So I always go on Google.
Okay.
I say Google St. Paul Art Crawl.
Okay.
And it comes up. I sometimes go on ChatGPT and I say, are there any spring festivals in St. Paul? The St. Paul Art Crawl does come up.
Oh, really?
And you can also go to our website, stpaulartcollective.org.
stpaulartcollective.org.
And that you will see all the galleries participating. You'll see the map of St. Paul, and you'll be able to schedule your day that way.
Amazing.
You'll be able to see our MTA tickets. We're able to book free tickets for MTA on on the first weekend of the Art Crawl.
Yeah.
26th and 27th. So that's for buses and for metro.
Nice.
Those are also on our website, so stpaulartcollective.org.
Okay.
If you want to take a free bus, that we can go to our website and stop by the gallery.
Okay.
And you probably gonna be able to take a bus back too.
Maybe I can get home. Okay. Hi, if you are just coming in, this is SPNN Forum. I'm your host, Jiccarra N. Hollman, and we are talking to the St. Paul Art Collective with the one and only Mr. Mariusz. Hello again.
Hi.
So we talked about the art crawls too, one in spring and one in fall. We talked about all the different ways that artists can get involved. We spoke about you being the connector of different art platforms such as Springboard for the Arts, such as 825 Arts, such as SPN Forum. And each of these kind of sanctions of art experiences do offer different things. Like, for example, SPNN Forum offers classes and workshops on filmmaking, editing, you can rent equipment to create films, to showcase documentaries or create documentaries and such. 825 Arts, I've been there for improv class, I've been there for parties, I've seen them do double dutching and different art exhibits. And then Springboard for the Arts just kind of offers you consultation with like legendary artists that have been working forever. And then they offer like a plethora of resources. And we can find all of these platforms, if you don't know about them individually, with St. Paul Art Collective.
Yeah, the Springboard provides the job board, which is
Yes.
really amazing.
Yeah.
We have submitted to that job board before when we were
Okay.
looking for new board members. So we were able to utilize that.
Mm-hmm.
I love to be the connector.
You love to be the connector. So I understand that St. Paul Art Collective has been the collector and the coordinator for a long time. You've been connecting. Tell me a little bit about the history of St. Paul Art Collective.
It's been since the 1900s.
Mm-hmm.
So 1976, to be exact, is when the collective was incorporated. It started from the need of artists looking for affordable housing.
Oh, okay.
The first big project was with the City of St. Paul Art Space, the City of St. Paul, and then us. We came together to develop what's called Lowertown Loves Artists Cooperative.
Ah.
They have their 40th year this year, anniversary. They will be at the Art Crawl. And we're just so lucky to have them because there's not that many spaces in the country where artists can buy in, be in the community, have a live workspace, downtown city.
Mm-hmm. And I love spaces like those. I've had an opportunity to do some work in some of them. And I see that some art spaces, like the Lofts, they offer dance studios, they offer open rooms and spaces for artists to actually create their work. You know, so some of them have their families within their apartment and not the space to create their work. There's different studio spaces in there. And then sometimes they have like rooftops where like the artists can like come together and like work out and see other artists that also live within the facility. So that is amazing.
Yeah, Lowertown Lofts has that, and it has a space downstairs where artists can rent if they want to perform, if they're a musician, if they're a dancer. Schmidt Artist Lofts also has a lot of beautiful spaces.
Yeah.
They're also part of the Art Crawl on the first weekend. They have a dance studio, they have a rooftop, like you said.
Yeah.
It's nice to be outside with food trucks there too.
I've been to Schmidt. I've been there a few times. I shot a music video there for Ashley DeBow. Shot a music video there. I went to some artists' EP releases there. They have some beautiful spaces there.
Beautiful.
So it's nice to know that artists can live and create at like a one-stop shop.
Exactly.
Because it can be expensive, like, you know, renting space to create art or renting studio space and stuff like that. So it's amazing to have that.
Yeah, and everybody always wants you to sign up for a paid membership. But what we do, we only buy things that are free.
Yes.
So I'm learning a lot.
Yes. So with the history, I understand back in like the 1970s, as these artists were looking for spaces to hold their art and showcase their art, you guys started to like partner with warehouses to create these spaces. Is that right?
Yes, through the City of St. Paul and with Art Space, and then other developers as well, just private developers.
Okay, very nice, amazing. So now, how does organizations bring their events to you to be shared?
They join our membership if they're a nonprofit. we have free nonprofit memberships. And that is a place where we can share resources with one another. Like you said, the nonprofits that you mentioned are part of it. I started with about 5 nonprofits last year, and now we have 34. So if those folks have workshops, classes, offerings, I then send that to the membership and share it with my mailing list as well. And they can email me, they can go to our website, they can Instagram me if they don't want to write a long email, mariusz.kujawski@stpolartcollective.org. It's a little long, but if you want to just like DM me on Instagram, I'll respond.
Okay. Okay, and what's the Instagram so we can DM you?
St. Paul Art Collective.
St. Paul Art Collective. Okay, and I can DM you right now if I need some advertisement for my space in the Art Collective, in the Art Crawl.
For the art crawl? Yeah, you can for the fall.
For the fall, okay. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So I am so just ecstatic to learn about the history. And as we have brushed on that, you mentioned that there's so much being offered in the future. So tell me what can be expected in the future from the St. Paul Art Collective.
We want to expand fully to the whole city of St. Paul, where currently we are in all of the words. However, there's locations and areas where we are not, and we want to be more accessible to the community. And what's better than getting out of your house, going to get your coffee at the coffee shop, and then being in the art crawl already. I've run into, when I lived in New York, I've run into protests all the time. You get out of the subway, you're in a protest, very accessible. You get out of the protest, go to work, you protested. It's kind of how I feel about the art crawl. I feel like if you just want to get out of your neighborhood, or if you want to stay in your neighborhood, there should be art there.
That's amazing. Okay.
Yeah, we're looking to work with the city of St. Paul. Sponsors, we have a new sponsor, the Dual Citizen, is working with us this year.
Okay.
The future is bright.
The future is bright. I love that. As an artist, it's good to hear that. So what type of experiences can I expect from your art crawl?
Yeah, so we'll have dance classes, we'll have lots of music, live paintings, workshops, this photography workshop. We're going to work on a writing workshop that I am finalizing this week.
Okay.
But all of those will be listed on our website.
Okay.
And also on an Eventbrite page.
Oh, nice. Okay. Many different ways to get the information.
Yes.
As a filmmaker, how do I partake in the St. Paul Art Collective in the art crawl?
Do you have any films you've made that you want to show?
Yeah, I do. I want to show my film.
Also, let's project the films. Let's project them here. Let's have people come in and set up a couple tables, chairs, project the film, and then bring a couple other friends that also make films. So we'll have 3 films.
Wow. Just that easy?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
We'll make it work.
Let me think of something else. I'm a photographer. How do I showcase and exhibit of photos from my time in Paris?
Yes, so print the photos and work with some local print company and some mom and pops shops so you can help them out.
Okay, good. Yep.
Yeah, and then we can find you a gallery to show in. It all depends how much space they have or how much work you have. We'll make it work. I have lots of people that have giant paintings. I have lots of people that have really small prints.
Yeah.
And we always find places for everybody.
Okay, what about as a singer or songstress or artist, and I want to do an EP release. How do I find space to do that?
Email me.
Email you?
And ask the question, and most likely I'll be able to find somebody to connect you with.
Wow.
I would connect you with somebody that has cameras, like SPNN, SPNN. Or I would connect you with somebody that has space, like Springboard for the Arts, where they have a place where you can just go there and record. And then, since you are a member with me as an artist because you messaged me about it. I probably encourage you to be a member. And then once you're a member, I can send all your information to our mailing list and then invite people to it. We can make it around the art crawl where there's a crowd of people. We can make it outside the art crawl where you and I just come together and build it from scratch, where we're into theater, we're into space, and do a little bit of advertising. But through the membership, that helps a lot to bring people in, especially artists. And if you want to talk about your process with them, it's a great place.
I'm telling every artist to get a membership with St. Paul Art Collective today.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, this has been a wonderful sit-down interview with the St. Paul Art Collective. I learned so many things that you guys are offering through the Art Crawl, including workshops, including exhibits, including phenomenal ways to support other artists. I am your host, Jiccarra N. Hollman, and this is SPNN Forum, and you have not yet. Make sure you become a member today of the St. Paul Art Collective.
This work is funded in part by the Minnesota Humanities Center, with money from the Arts and Heritage Fund that was created with the vote of the people of Minnesota on November 4, 2008.